everybody. Welcome to Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in pop culture. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Rachel Feinstein.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Today we're going to talk about why Netflix may be playing a bigger role in your sex life than you realize, and what Amber Rose thinks of her fake-ass friends, and appropriate etiquette when it comes to public bathrooms. Plus, wellness professional Bethany C. Meyer joins the table to discuss the Become Project. But first,
Senator Elizabeth Warren has announced a new plan to fix the U.S. college system, and it includes getting rid of student loan debt. In the Rolling Stone, Warren says her plan would give total loan forgiveness to 76% of Americans with student loan debt and partial debt cancellation to 95% of households with debt. Guys, it not only sounds good, it actually makes sense. And she's doing this by a wealth tax, basically.
the ultra-millionaire tax.
Ultra-millionaire tax. Basically, anybody making over $50 million will have a 2% tax every year, and it will help pay for all of this.
Yeah, over 10 years, and that will raise like over almost $3 trillion, and this would only cost $1.25 trillion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this is like $50,000 debt forgiveness for anyone who makes less than $100,000 a year, which is like 45 million Americans. So this is incredible for everyone who has student debt out there.
Yeah, seriously. As someone who has already paid off all their debt, I am so for this. It was not easy. I had to work 3 jobs at the same time and like basically scam people and be like, yeah, I'm there in the office to make extra money to pay off my debt. So like, to all the people who are out there like, this is a slap in the face to people who've already paid off their debt, like fuck off. No, I don't want anyone else to go through what a lot of us had to do.
No, it took me 10 years, and I almost defaulted, and it was this horribly stressful thing. My family couldn't help me out. I mean, you are sort of in it. I was able to do it after 10 years, luckily, but a lot of people haven't had access to the jobs or.
And I think it really
unfair.
it frees people up to spend money on what really matters in our lives, like you know, Coachella and Jaeger, extra highlighters, a kitten heel. I'd like an extra kitten heel.
Right.
Come on, Elizabeth, hook me up.
Seriously.
That's
I think
part-
she has a closet full of kitten heels.
I do.
It should be part of her platform. But like, think about the Coachella tickets you can get if you don't have student debt. I mean, there's the millennial vote.
That's a real point. When our money is tied up into paying debt, we're not spending money in our economy. And we see that millennials aren't buying houses and we aren't getting married. We're doing all these things that are fucking up our economy. So if we have more money to spend on Coachella, it's actually a good thing.
I want lip gloss, blow. Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to say blow.
We have some under the couch.
I would love for you at one of these town halls. Elizabeth Warren, thank you. I need more money for Blow, and thank you so much for this debt forgiveness proposal. Yeah.
But do you think we're smart enough to use our money the right way if we don't have it tied up in debt?
Well,
I mean,
apparently.
what's the right way? I don't know. I mean, I know that the millennials get called out for like being the type of people who like spend too much money on avocado toast, and I guess like generally we spend $5,000 per vacation, which is not something I'm doing, but I guess statistically that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, life is too fucking short to save your money and be like, I'm hoarding it away. For what? For what? Like,
I
use
like
it.
to get drunk and design sneakers, you know, on the Nike website.
Like the Nike
And then-
ID?
Yeah, and then it just surprises me. I get some delightful gift. I had no idea that I designed those sneakers. I want to spend money in fun-loving ways.
What do you write on your sneakers? You wake up and you're like, it says hot bitch. Like, why did I do that?
I say no haters.
Right.
Stop the hate. Now, I like Elizabeth Warren. She's powerful. I like when she speaks.
Yeah. I think last night's town hall did her some really good justice because I think she's been put into these tropes and these boxes based on like the previous election cycle, and she came out and she ready.
No, well, it's so.
She was so ready last night.
Well, no, what's really funny is the last election cycle was I'll not vote for that woman, but I'll vote for Elizabeth Warren.
Right.
And now Elizabeth Warren's running. It's like, no, I don't like her either. So it's like, which woman are you gonna vote for? Because now there's a lot running. But yeah, she killed it last night. And also, just every single town hall, they all mentioned. So Elizabeth Warren proposed this. What do you think? Elizabeth Warren thinks that. What do you think? And so I think just it was nonstop, just kick-ass women. Of course, Bernie and Buttigieg were there as well, and they're great. But if you watch Kamala and Warren, I don't know how you don't walk away being like, I want one of them.
Yeah, I got excited last night. I've been really ignoring all of the politics because it's too much, but I think last night brought me in. Like,
Yeah, I also feel like with Elizabeth Warren, I feel like she doesn't mind yelling and she doesn't care what you call her.
Yes.
Right.
Speaking of brushing off the hate, I believe I brought that up. But
Yeah.
speaking of my own past comment, but I feel like she doesn't care, and when Trump comes at her with whatever nonsense or whatever people call her, I feel like she doesn't care too much, and she'll go right back, and she's not too careful. Like, I feel like we don't need somebody that's too careful, too parsed with their language, just not somebody that's worried worried about how somebody's going to dissect their statement.
Totally.
I feel like she just speaks.
Well,
She's powerful as hell.
And I think
Yeah.
also people need to realize she's only been a senator for 6 years, and she wasn't in politics before that. She was a professor, and she helped, create the Consumer Finance Bureau or whatever. So she really isn't a politician. So she still speaks very authentically, very herself. So I think she's resonating with a lot of people. I don't know. I love a badass woman in politics. You all know that. So I was very happy last night watching 5 hours of town halls on CNN.
Yeah, and it's good. I think we got to deal with this debt. It's going to cripple us before it makes us stronger, so let's take care of it.
And then we'll buy some drunk-ass sneakers.
Yes, let's do it. That's my Elizabeth Warren sneaker dance. Get involved.
Get involved.
I like this.
Well, the phrase Netflix and chill was once a millennial hookup tactic, but researchers now find that the term chill no longer means what it used to. Studies reveal that Americans are having less sex on average than they did three decades ago, and offered Netflix and other streaming platforms as the culprit. In fact, 1 in 3 Americans between the ages of 18 and 38 turned down sex for binge watching.
That's false. They were never being offered sex.
Okay,
They're like, yeah, I chose to watch TV. It's like, no, bitch, you did.
but this is why it's interesting, and I get this. So when we weren't just watching linear TV, shows would end around 10 p.m. So you still have some energy to like, fuck, let's be honest.
Yeah.
In my past relation, when I lived with her, if we did not have sex before we started watching Handmaid's Tale or whatever, not gonna happen. First of all, you're depressed afterwards.
I was gonna say, it's also because you're watching
but also
Handmaid's
you're
Tale.
tired. You're like, I'm emotionally exhausted. I need to go to bed. Good night. So I totally see how this is happening.
Also, I feel like why not both at the same time? I mean, I can give a handy while I'm watching Peaky Blinders. And yeah, that was my Bumble profile title. All right? Maybe
Well,
it
maybe
was.
when you're watching Peaky Blinders, because that's a bad show. But when you're watching something that's really good, you really can't like do anything with your genitalia. It's so distracting.
Yeah, I can't focus. I can't multitask.
I mean, a lazy handy. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's a lazy handy.
not gonna be-
Phoning it in.
Yeah, you're
I feel
phoning
like
it in.
that's torture. I've given a lot of people loose hand jobs to punish them, and it's so rude. So I wouldn't want to do that to my partner. I'd only want to do that to someone that I was like, hey man, you suck. Hey stranger.
That's that scene in The Favorite with Emma Stone, you remember? And she's just like,
It's
ugh.
Where you're like,
On her
this is
wedding
a
night.
hand job, and they're like, my dick is way thinner than that, and you're like, I know.
Although I do feel like I watch a lot of murder on TV. I don't know what that says about me, but it's not good. But I can't go to sleep until I've watched like a couple Forensic Files and like a Wives with Knives, and then I'm out like a light. So maybe that's not the best like backdrop for, I think you get that. For me, I think maybe now that I'm thinking about it, I get the sex out of the way.
Yes.
And I can really relax with Wives with Knives.
100%. Get it out of the way and then enjoy the TV show that you want to enjoy
Yeah.
in silence. And when I watch TV show, if I'm watching with someone, I'm tolerating that person's presence. I like watching things alone in silence. So if they're next to me, it's like, we agree, do not talk to me. So if I can get out of the intimate, blah, 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 kissy stuff before, I can focus on the TV.
You know what solves all of this? The pause button. I use it all the time.
That's true.
They start reaching, I'm like, all right, pause. You come back 20 minutes later.
But I can't even multitask. My mind can't multitask. So if I'm watching a Netflix show, like if it's Orange is the New Black, or even if it's like that new Chris Lilly show, whatever, I can't be thinking about like sex or other stuff before.
Pull out. I watched the Chris Lilly show. It's not that good. You could totally fuck to that show. You don't need to watch it. So if you want something to fuck to on Netflix, put that
Put that in the background.
Yeah, although it might make you soft.
Yeah.
You can get puss nasty to that show. That's how I refer to
Can you put that on your next pair of shoes?
Get puss nasty.
Oh my God.
Well,
That's nasty.
I can't wait to Netflix and chill with all of you guys. In other news, Amber Rose took to Instagram to call out her friends for being toxic and fake. The model posted on her story saying, funny how my phone blows up when I'm having pool parties and shit is lit, but as soon as a bitch is sick and pregnant, it's crickets. That's fucked up. That's really messed up. She needs that support. She's pregnant. I think she's still hot, even when she's sick and throwing up. I'm a big Amber Rose fan.
Yeah.
I'd hang out with her.
She doesn't sound very nice right now.
Hormones, hormones.
Like, I can't defend her because I'm like, she doesn't sound like she's being nice to her friends.
Wait, I don't know. I disagree.
I don't think she's
Well,
being mean.
let's have a debate.
All right, let's debate it. So if your friends are being fucking fake and they're not there for you and they're only using you when you have a pool party,
Okay.
why not call them out? Is it rude to be honest and authentic and be like, hey, you guys seem like a bunch of assholes?
But do you think she's asked for help? Has she been like, hey guys, I'm feeling kind of lonely. Can you come over? Or because here's the thing, I've had a lot of friends who have had babies and you just like don't want to bother them. You're like, oh, they're tired.
Yeah.
So you actually stop hitting them up as much because you're like, oh, well, I don't want to like stress her out. She doesn't want to come drink or whatever. But if that friend was like, hey, like, do you want to come chill? I would. So I think sometimes you have to ask for the help.
Yeah, but we don't know that she hasn't been asking. But also, like, even if, okay, going out and drinking is the only thing you could do with your friends. You could just be like, hey, can I bring you a smoothie? You pregnant person who probably wants something to eat. Like when my friends are pregnant, I usually ask them if they want snacks.
I always want snacks, pregnant or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good
maybe I am
excuse to eat.
pregnant because I want snacks I just like to do some nonstop feeding. But yeah, they should. They should
probably take
drop
a
off.
test.
Yeah.
It's been how long has it been?
I think
Hold
I'm
on.
with child.
Oh shit, you're crowning right now.
Right now.
No, I didn't think I was going to birth on the build series.
Oh my
What
God.
the hell?
Our first build baby right here.
Wow.
But I do think Amber Rose, I mean, hey, if you're her friend, you should already be doing more. Amber
Right.
Rose is the truth. I've
Yeah,
said
that
it
is
here.
true. I like her.
I'll say it again. Yeah, she's fine as hell, thicker than a Snicker. And yes, that's a legal form of measurement, by the way.
Yeah,
Thicker than
and
a
she's
Snicker.
done so much for women. Like the slut walk is awesome. I went to it last year. It was so cool. It's super positive message, just owning it, owning your sexuality, not being slut shamed.
Yeah.
And you know what? She did a lot for pubic hair.
Really?
Remember
Yeah.
when she brought back pubes?
I do remember that.
That was great. She
She's
showed us
part
the
of
whole
like my
thing.
daily
It was nice.
Were hers
Instagram.
blondes?
They were like an auburn.
Okay.
You know, they
Yeah.
were
I
a
I
little
just want to know if she dyed them or
fiery.
not.
No, they were
I
like
don't
a
know.
tasteful auburn, like you
Yeah.
know, kind of. They had a fun-loving flair to them.
Yes.
Okay, like a strawberry.
Yeah, they looked flavorful. Like I was like, can't wait to taste.
But she's part of my daily.
Sorry. Oh, you guys not always think about eating out Amber Rose? Just me?
Come on.
Okay.
Why don't we all go down to the Amber Rose?
I think I
Let's
would
make it
be
a
like-
field trip.
Hey, Amber Rose, you're pregnant? I can still go down on you. Like, I would be a good friend.
You
to
would be
her.
a great. You're
You'd
the
be the
friend that
best
she
friend.
wants.
Yeah, I am
Yeah,
the type of
she
friend that
deserves
like,
you.
will come over and eat you out if you're
Yeah.
Smoothies and eating out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get to go to the pool parties.
Yeah.
Genuinely have a good time. You deserve to be there. You just ate her out
earned
an
it.
hour
Yeah.
before.
Earned it.
I've earned
Yeah.
it.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
But
but
taking, whatever.
Yeah. Why not?
But I think it's a larger conversation. Friends who are not. I think friendship's a two-way street, and I have very, very good friends who I love with all my heart, but they're terrible communicators.
Yeah.
And I have a 2-text rule now that if you do
Yeah.
not text me back at the second text, I will not see you until you text me.
Wow.
'Cause I've had friends that I keep texting, and then they'll do some Instagram comment or whatever. I'm like, so I know you're seeing these texts.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I
I
know
know.
you're not that busy. You're not the president. Well, that example, you're not someone who's really busy. But I think, yeah, I have a new rule now. So
that's
you,
damn hurtful when you see them
damn
posting
hurtful.
on Instagram and you're like, what the? And it'll be like the dumbest video.
Dumbest thing.
Just like
Always.
them following their dog around their apartment. You're like, I exist! And I get lonely. I have wild needs that aren't being met.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, ask you to get drinks. Like, just get drinks with me. I don't want to drink alone.
Yeah, she's cool as hell. I met her once, and she had some Cheetos with her, and she shared her Cheetos, which is how I judge a friend. If that's not friendship, what is?
No.
Yeah.
Share a Cheeto or two. But I have like a loop I do on Instagram where I just like it's like my confidence loop, like just people that make me feel good. You know, just like
Right.
I'll check out Ashley Graham. She's always saying something kindly. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I do rock. You know? Just an exact text my mom sent me. She just wrote "strong women rock," and I'm like, shit, you're right, Karen.
God damn.
But yeah, it's like her and Amber Rose. You know, you have like certain people
Yeah.
you go to that make you feel good, and then the other unhealthy ones. You know, you're just like, why am I even looking at this?
Right.
I
Yeah.
follow Hoda Kotb because it's always like, you're a star, your dreams are around the corner. And I'm like, they are. She's so damn inspiring.
Yeah, I want those voices in my own head.
Yes.
Yeah, I just need a voice in the morning that's like, go get them. Screw the haters. You're thicker than a Snicker.
I'm going to trademark that. Moving on, a New York Times story has uncovered the dirty truth behind public restrooms and offers some tips to protect readers from germs. Some of the tricks include closing the lid before flushing, sitting as opposed to squatting, and avoiding the door handle with bare hands, especially after you wash them. This story made me never want to use a public restroom
Every
again.
time I walk into a public restroom, it is like I'm in a war-torn country. It is all hands on deck. I'm calling in the National Guard. It is like, don't want to touch anything, don't want to look at anything. I think my eyes are closed. I'm bird boxing it. I am not the person to be around in a public restroom. I'm so grossed out by the germs in the public restroom.
But I think it's harder for women because you actually have to touch stuff.
Of course.
you
Like
Yeah.
men, there's urinals. You just go and touch your own piece, and then you're done.
Oh, I would never.
Girls, you have to.
I
There's
know,
like a
I've
toilet
always-
seat, and how do you guys approach the toilet seat? in
I've always
public?
wanted to be able to stand and deliver, but
Right?
you know, you have to hover.
Oh yeah, I'm a big squatter. And I mean, I even squat at home sometimes just to keep those muscles like working because I think it's like good and it keeps you fit. And then that way, if you get used to squatting, then you're not tense and you can like completely like
Right.
empty out your bladder, which is the most important part.
And that's what doctors say.
Yeah.
If you do squat's a problem because you're not fully emptying yourself
Yeah,
out.
I just want to like go on record and say I've never had a UTI.
Ever?
Ever. Isn't that amazing?
Move a little.
Get away, you yeasty woman. Yeasty women rock. Don't worry. Don't
Thank
worry.
I'm a squatter, but like I will sit if it's a nice, like in a nice restaurant, you know, if they have like a nice bathroom, I'll like observe the seat and I'll sit on it.
I'll sit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell lies in here anymore.
Yeah, don't lie.
I've told my last lie. Yeah, I'll sit. I'm too lazy. It's too much of a prolonged
It
squat.
is.
And I don't really worry about germs. Like, I don't believe in germs that much. I'm just like, you wash your hands, you're okay, you know?
Right.
Agreed.
And I'm rancid too. Who am I to say that? I'm dirty. Yeah, so I kind of just like, I don't get skeeved out by
I
very
don't
much.
either. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
sit unless it's a really disgusting situation, and then I'm like, I'm not touching anything.
Yeah.
But then also the hand part, like you wash your hands, and there's all this information now about hand dryers and how they basically take poop particles and just spread them all around. So they're like
That's
not
not
actually
good.
the cleanest way to dry your hands. A paper towel is.
That's not a good
Yeah.
look. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
Also, those papers in the toilet in the stall,
Yeah.
like poop particles fly up on those too. So if you sit in those, you're basically sitting on poop
I'm
particles.
telling you, we should be
Yeah.
wearing hazmat suits when you're in an airport public restroom. It is always, yeah, because then you think about also, which this article mentions, like leaving, if you touch that door handle.
Who touches a door handle? I just see people all the time
Yeah.
touching the door handle, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Just washed your hands.
Defeats the purpose.
Well, that's like
I
Carrie
always
Purell,
do the paper towel up until like as I can find an outside trash can and throw it in, but I
Yeah.
never touch like a stray door handle.
Oh,
and
man.
if I don't have a paper towel, I wait for someone to come in and then I jam my foot in and swing it open.
I have a question because you know with men's bathrooms, the etiquette, the urinals is like you always keep one in between,
Right.
and unless you can't, and like especially if there are no stall handles, it's a very intimate experience if you're peeing next to a man with there's no like divider, like
Yeah.
you really become very close. With women, is that the case too with stalls? Like, do you mind if someone takes the stall right next to you, and like why don't you take the one?
I don't care.
If it's an
That's what I
empty
think.
bathroom, I think it's weird to take the stall right next to me. I would like a little
Right.
space.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember
I
the
really
first time
mind.
my dad brought me into the men's restroom because we were at like a baseball game
Mm-hmm.
and I saw what happened in there and I was so haunted. Like I was really deeply distraught. I just looked at him and every man differently. Yeah, there was just like that big collective pool that they all like
Yeah.
peed in, and I was like, this is disgraceful.
Right.
Who are you, Dad?
It's horrible.
Yeah, I was horrified. I was like
So
actively
disgusting.
traumatized. I'm like, you can't have a joint pee pool. That's
Can you
unacceptable.
imagine if we had to
Sounds
pee in a trough?
fun.
Right.
No,
We all
it's not a
just
good
squat
look.
to a trough.
I always like wish that I had someone that I could cross streams with. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, it's like a wish of mine that I could cross streams with someone. And my friend recently gifted me for my birthday a Go Girl, which you know is like
Oh.
those things that you could take to like wherever you want to go if there's not a bathroom. You can
What
just
is it?
piss
Oh, you-
standing up. It's like a little silicone
like a little
thing
cup.
that like you
What?
like keep in your bag. So now I can pee standing up anywhere. And now I'm like, you know, accepting applications for someone to cross streams with. Just
Wait,
so you guys
it's
know.
it's like a piss sack.
Yeah, no, it's not a sack. It's basically like a little cone, and then you just
Yeah.
like hold it up to your area, and then you piss through it, and it's like cones out the pee, so you could just, you don't even have to squat, you could just do this and be like,
Yeah.
Oh, and then you obviously throw it away. For some reason, I'm
oh,
imagining
no,
you
no.
putting
It
it back
comes
in.
right out. You're aiming anywhere. It's not in a sack, so
Right.
it's like it has. It's a
It's not a
hole
piece.
with a hole. It's like as if you had a straw. Think of a thicker straw situation,
Right.
or
Like
like
a micro
funnel.
penis.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a fun penis you could buy, not for fucking, just for peeing.
It's like a vag funnel.
Yeah, a vag funnel. There you go. Scientific talk.
Wow.
Black market name. The vag funnel.
Wow. From debt-free college to the vag funnel. Bill Brunch, everyone.
Important issues.
And now it's time for today's guest. Not only is Bethany C. Myers a wellness professional, they are also the founder and CEO of the Become Project, a zero-judgment fitness routine that focuses on the idea of working out because you love your body, not because you want to change it. Here to tell us more is Bethany C. Myers.
Woo!
You can be in the middle.
Okay. Oh, yes, sorry.
Let's
Switch
swap
places.
Switch.
Musical chairs. Well, Bethany, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
As
having
some-
me.
As someone who loves fitness, I love working out. I'm really interested in this. Sorry, this is me bragging. a
He's
little
like,
bit.
I love the gym.
working out. Did I
He's
just do
like-
legs today? I don't know. The Become Project is so interesting, and I wonder if you could tell people out there who are not familiar with it, what's it about?
Yeah, so it's an app. It's 25-minute workouts. You do one routine all week long. So it's like the same 25-minute routine all week long. And really the premise at the end of the day is about working out for something other than just vanity reasons. I think we have so much this idea that anytime we work out, it's like, I ate too much, or I need to thin out this, or I need to do whatever. And it kind of creates this negative connotation around the reason that you move, as opposed to moving for reasons like, I want to feel strong, or I want to be healthy as I age, or I want to be able to always stand on one foot, or these things that are actually important for our body.
So that fits into the whole zero judgment like philosophy about that, which I think is important. Right?
Exactly, yes. So, I mean, I'm very much like come as you are.
Right.
You can be old or young or queer or fat or skinny or like whatever, I don't care. Just come and let's move together and figure out something that works for you.
Right. And so you mentioned the 25 minutes. I think it's so fascinating, interesting, because people always say, I don't have the time to work out. But it's 25 minutes and also zero impact movements. So can you kind of explain?
Yeah, so I've been working in fitness for over 10 years. So as much as it is come as you are, it's by no means an easy workout. Like you will get a sweat in 25 minutes. So through the course of working out, I always had this thing where I'm like, why are we wasting so much time at the gym? I mean, going for 2 hours. Like I have other shit to do.
Right.
Sorry.
No, you
Okay.
Go for it.
I have other things to do. So really the way that the workout is formatted, it's designed to get in there and sort of get all these little minute pieces. I do a lot of coaching on form. And if you're doing something right, you don't have to do it for a long time. And then the other piece of the workout is I basically segment off the body. So you do the right side first and then the left side, which means that you will fatigue very fast. So as opposed to doing like right leg, left leg, right leg, left, it's like all your right leg, it's burned out and done, and then you move on to the other side. If that kind of
So
makes some sense.
efficient.
I like that.
So it's super efficient. And you also can't like stop halfway through because you'll be very uneven. Like if you
Gives you
stop
more
early,
incentive, yeah.
your whole right side will be fried and your left side is like, wait a second.
Unless you're going for that look.
Yeah. Just all beefed up. You'll only work out your left sides for the
Just the
camera.
camera side.
Yeah.
Literally, this side is just skinny, shrill, little looking.
10-year-old arm on that side.
All this.
Oh, well, I love that look. And your workouts focus on loving your own body and not so much on trying to look different or change your body type. So can you speak about the importance of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because this kind of body positive conversation is very hot right now. People are, you go on Instagram and it's like, love yourself just the way you are. And what I found was missing was that piece wasn't translating into our workouts, right? So it's like looking at studios and they're doing these 30-day challenges and, you measure yourself before and then you measure yourself in 12 weeks or like getting bikini body ready. And at the end of the day, that's all focused on exactly what you look like and changing something about yourself. And at some point, like your legs are always your legs. Right. And if you go in with this idea, like I'm gonna change these and have these long, skinny legs, you're gonna be thoroughly disappointed. And soon you're gonna be like, I'm over this workout, and that's when we move on to the next thing. So I think it's really important that we start allowing these different body types and seeing different body types represented in fitness. So every single person who I have in the videos and on the website, they're all real clients who do the app and they submit and they say, I feel like my body isn't represented in fitness, and that's the next person who we show.
So it's like all shapes and sizes.
For sure.
Like the ASOS website, which I find very cute. It's a strange reference, but I just like seeing people all different sizes wearing something, doing something I'm gonna do, whatever it is.
It's funny, I was shopping last night. I was going onto websites trying to find new clothes, and I kept going onto sites, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy from these sites where everybody looks skinny, itty bitty. And I ended up going back to ASOS.
And you want to see a girl that looks like you. Yeah, like, oh, she's got a butt or whatever it is. Yeah. Also, I feel like it makes you feel good working out too. Like you could be, people don't talk about that enough either. Like you could be wildly depressed and then you do a couple crunches and all of a sudden you're like, am I the shit?
Yeah, right.
It also creates confidence, not just because you're, you turn into another lady.
Totally.
But because you just feel better when you work out.
Well, and we have something that on the app, basically to unlock and lock every single routine, you have to answer the question, how do you feel? And I give like a list of words. You can check off different words, and they're not all positive words, right? There's like stressed, mad, happy, whatever it may be. But it's like like this pause for a second that before you're like, okay, what am I going through? How am I feeling? And then right after, you're asking yourself the same question. And we've found, we're actually pulling the data right now, but it's like 95% of the time, people are feeling better once they're done with this 25 minutes of movement, you know? And hopefully that within itself is motivation.
Yeah. So you mentioned you've been in the industry for 10 years, but just in the last year, you've been really like pushing out this app and building this brand. So was that the plan? Why wait until now?
Well, I have been in fitness for 10 years. I've worked with a lot of boutique studios. I think at the end of the day, I just really wanted to do something that was mine. And I wanted to be able to control the message. I had a lot of eating disorders and a lot of issues even while I was a fitness instructor. Like almost, 8 of those years, I was like really struggling with an eating disorder. And I started to realize, like, if I'm feeling this way and I'm a leader in this industry, how many of my clients are feeling the exact same way? And I'm a petite person who is advocating for size inclusivity because I really think that the way that we feel about ourselves isn't limited to one body type. There are people that are thin, that are big, that are all across the board who are struggling with these same issues, including men and women and everyone in between.
Yeah. And you're also a prominent advocate in the LGBTQIA community. So can you talk to why that's important specifically in terms of the fitness industry?
Absolutely. So I don't call this a women's brand. I actually identify as a non-binary person myself and use they, them pronouns. And what I started to find was that fitness tends to be a not super inclusive place for people who are on this spectrum. For example, you go into a locker room and here's the men's lockers and the women's lockers. And then you go into maybe a primarily female-based workout and the instructor's like, okay, ladies, let's get our, whatever it may be. So there's a huge queer community that's doing the Become Project that I'm super excited about. One is they just feel like they have a safe space. The workout itself is not gendered. We just had a non-binary person in our last shoot, which is super cool. And I think that also like people who've gone through top surgery or maybe taking hormones, like this is a safe space for them to do it at their home and to find movement that they can actually do and feel invited in. Yeah. So yeah, it's been really incredible to watch.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I think, with working out and stuff like that, I feel like it's so great that you're making it a confidence thing too, and that you're focusing on that internal thing, because we always talk about how we're gonna look. I go to the gym for like 1 minute and my internal monologue changes immediately. Maybe too much. I do like half a lunge and like check a text message. And I'm like, motherfuckers better step the fuck back. But yeah, it makes you feel good, and that should be what we're thinking about. Yeah, not, trading out for somebody else's, thighs and butt. But
yeah, absolutely.
I also wanted to ask you, you're married to Nico Tortorella.
I am, yes.
How did you guys meet?
Oh my God, we met 13 years ago. It's been 13 years in college in Chicago, playing beer pong.
You met playing beer pong?
All great love affair stuff,
Yeah.
seriously.
That's how it starts.
Just a true classic. But yeah, we have such a great relationship, and Nico is, my other half, and we're both two queer people who have found love within each other. We have a beautiful open relationship. It's incredible.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like you're changing the world.
You are.
One lunge at a time.
I feel very
We
embraced
can
by
make some
you.
little changes, start to inject
Little
it.
tweaks.
I'm definitely proud. Bethany, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.
You can head to www.thebecomeproject.com to hear more information about the body positive fitness routine. And thank you so much for Rachel for co-hosting. We love you. Please come back. We will see you all tomorrow, same time, same table. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.